Okay, guys, so I just spent like 10 minutes talking to the camera, and then baby girl, my chocolate drop, walked up and said, Mommy, you're not recording. But it's okay, because I can do it again. So, I wanted to come and just give you guys some valuable information about this tax season. For those of you who follow me on the previous profile that Instagram deleted, you guys know that I do taxes and I offer insurance services, photography, branding, all of that type of stuff. But for my new followers, you guys that are just coming in, joining me as I build this profile up, if you don't know, now you do. I do all of those things. And I wanted to start giving you guys some valuable information about this tax season, because the earlier you file, the better. If you have a tax preparer, that preparer should be trying to prepare most of their clients for delays. We're expecting some delays this tax season due to adjustments, just to a few different reasons. But this tax season is going to look extremely different than the previous tax season. So if you guys see me look now, I took notes. But some of the reasons for that is the child tax credit advance. So for those of you who opted out, the returns will look pretty similar in terms of the child tax credit as the previous years. But for the millions of taxpayers who receive their anticipated child tax credit in monthly payments over the last several months, this filing may look completely different to you. We don't know what that's going to look like. The IRS is going to have to go through and verify numbers and things like that, make adjustments. So that can definitely slow down the returns. It only makes sense for the delays just because of all of, even with COVID, the COVID numbers are going up. We're hitting records that we haven't even hit previously. So the child tax credit advance, COVID, the economic stimulus payments, Schedule C reporting, things like that. So also for my Schedule C clients, or for any of my followers that file Schedule C reports on your tax return, you want to make sure that this year you're being very diligent about reporting, record keeping, and reporting accurate numbers, especially if you receive the EIDL grant or the PPP, because that stuff could possibly affect your forgiveness guidelines, right? So we all know they were using previous tax returns to see if you qualify. And so I know that you still have to, there's still some reporting going on that could either make or break forgiveness for some of you. So just make sure that you're sitting down with your tax preparer, or you're thinking it through if you're preparing your own taxes, so that you guys are getting the numbers right. Now, the deadline to file returns and or extensions is April 18, 2022, which would essentially give taxpayers until October 17th, 2022, to get everything filed and turned in for the 2021 returns. Now, there are 2 states who have April 19th. I think it was Maine, and I'm not going to say the other one because I can't remember it, but it was 2 states. But outside of those 2 states, the deadline is April 18th. They have an additional holiday, so that's the reason why. So, to wrap up, I wanted to give you guys 5 tips to avoid delays with your returns, right? The first being to start early. Normally, I start at the end of the previous year, start trying to gather my numbers, especially for Schedule C's, receipts, things like that I know I'm going to need to follow my Schedule C. Normally I start the year before, but it's fine if you haven't. Just go ahead and start as soon as possible so that you can provide those receipts, provide those reports, profit loss reports, income reports to your tax preparer so that they can, plug the numbers in properly. 2, filing electronically will definitely speed up the process. I think we've been doing that since, the IRS has really been trying to move heavily to electronic filings. 3, opt for a direct deposit as opposed to paper checks. I mean, that's common knowledge. Direct deposit is going to go straight in. And if you've been receiving the child tax credit advance, that means you have a bank account. Most of all of you should have a bank account. If you don't have a bank account, if you don't qualify one, a lot of these money transfer services now provide services where you can have an account and they'll give you an account number and routing number for you to have the direct deposit going. And, they make it available pretty soon. So, number 4 would be to report accurate numbers, especially if you received the stimulus or economic impact payment or the child tax credit advance or the EIDL grant or the PPP, right? So if you received any and or all of those, then you definitely want to report the numbers accurately. If you don't specifically know your numbers, IRS.gov is the perfect resource for you to be able to establish an account, go in and see what the IRS is reporting for you. Okay, number 5, file a complete and accurate return. So don't send in bits and pieces, right? So last year, with the exception of one client, all my clients came in with a complete file. It was great. I was able to get them submitted and keep it pushing, get them their money. But if you come in with things or you forget that you didn't receive your stimulus and then you have to go in and refile, that's going to slow down your return, guys. So let's just make sure that we're getting complete and accurate returns filed. And also, again, with the numbers or again with if you're not sure what the IRS has on record for you or are reporting for you, you can definitely use IRS.gov as a primary resource for you outside of your own record keeping and things that you have. So if you guys have any general questions, let me say general, because I charge for my services, so I'm just not going to be giving away free information. But if you guys have general questions, I don't mind going through and asking. So definitely email or DM me however you feel. I'll put my tag either in the comments or along with the post. Probably not going to put it on the video. I'm not that tech savvy. But we'll get it to you. So thank you for listening and have a good one.